following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.
This isn't just a game. This is iRacing. Races into this regular season for GLSR in this Mr. Radiator Premier Series. It is time we set the field of 12 that'll race for a championship here for the next 5 weeks. It all ends at its traditional ending, the Michigan Speedway, as we welcome you in to the one track that has hosted a GLSR race every single season. And if I do the math correctly, for the 14th time, hosting the Prehistoric Force 200 here at the Michigan Speedway. We welcome you into what could be arguably the biggest race of the season and of the series here tonight as we race at Michigan, as we set the field for 12 drivers at the home track of the series, or at least where it all kind of kicked off with Travis Icavacci and Sammy B here at the Michigan Speedway. Virtually on iRacing, I'm the captain. As we get ready to go here, a tight field of drivers ready to go, and we will see how it all works out here this evening. Let's take a look at the point standings, as Diego Sainz, of course, he, Fontaine, Bryson, Miles, Telder, Alphin, Dalton are all safely in to the playoffs. You can almost argue that Dylan Rosenberg is good to go, but with bonus points and stuff, he is like teetering on good to go. And from there, 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th obviously to be decided. You got 13th through 15th. Those guys are still eligible points-wise, but anything can happen here tonight. There's still plenty of drivers that can get their way into the playoffs here, and a lot of numbers to be moved around. And of course, we'll have highlighted numbers in the timing and scoring, so you'll be able to see who's where in the points. And it's kind of tricky because this is the first time that we've had a race that technically has 2 bubbles. Let me explain. So the top 10 points are automatically in, depending on how you score your points, right? 11th and 12th is a wild card position. So 11th technically is locked in. So the 11th place guy is the bubble now. And that's right now where Sean Peachin sits. And that's because tonight we'll have no more than one person that is going to be a winning wildcard driver. What that means is somebody in the middle section between 10th and 20th in points scores a win. That person gets a wild card in. There's been no winners in the points between 10th and 20th. So that means 11th and 12th in points would get in. So 11th is locked in, whoever finishes in that spot. So the bubble is technically the 12th place person, and then potentially the 11th place person, depending on if there's a winner between 11 and 12 or 20. I know it's kind of confusing, but we'll explain it all here this evening. So Sean Peach and Joey Lanasaur, Devin Ramsey, Robert Lucan, Tyler Brewer, those guys right there, not to mention Tyler Pluff's right there, Lucas Strayer's right there. Rosenberg could almost fall into this a little bit here. So there's a few names here that could fall into this trap, but we got to be very careful with that. And we'll try to keep track as much as we can, because unfortunately, I can't show you how they run like they do in real life. So not that technological sound here on the Captain eSports Network. But the one thing we can do is qualify, presented by Spicy Schemes Hot Laps. Old Sammy B sponsor and qualifying here as cars get out there on track for their 2 laps. Track record set last year by Jonathan Tuckness, who ran around here and he really sporty lap, a 38.4, 187.146 miles an hour. That is a track record, 38.47. Can somebody get that record here tonight? We shall see as the cars roll out. And usual suspects heading out there on the track. You'll see some typical guys going out here towards the end of the run, but we'll see how it all works out. Again, hopefully everybody's enjoying their Wednesday evening, and we got a very interesting driver running the O2 car here tonight. We'll talk about him in a moment. Somebody, if you've watched these streams on Sundays, you might recognize him pretty well. Matter of fact, he's a champion in the Sunday Night League that we broadcasted here on the Captain eSports Network. And we'll show you who that is here in a moment. But Matthew Wheeler on track right now. You see him in the 10 car. Of course, the purple, per usual, means they are the fastest car right now heading to the line, potentially. Green means you're running faster than your last lap. Yellow means you got some work to do. As Wheeler brings it off of turn number 4, as you see, Brandon Alfin was on the pole for about a half a second before Alex Bryson, 40.1. There's a 39.8. Diego Sainz, the pole guy this season, if you will, looking to put that stamp on the final position in the points, 39.980. So we are nowhere near the track record. Needless to say, Sean Peachin jumps up to second with a 40 flat. Telder a 41.120. Bryson and Midkiff, good qualifying lap for the 29 car. As we look at Diego Sainz, he's looking faster and faster. Last season's winner across the line. He's going to go faster here, I think. 39.88. He actually matched his last lap, literally. Bryson second, Fontaine Ingram, and Brandon Alfin, your top 5 right now. Let's see who we cut to now. There's the 77 of Sam Fontaine. Fontaine third in points, or I should say second in points entering this series race here tonight. Third on the grid right now. You're going to see all those numbers in green over there. Those are the guys that have locked themselves in. You're going to see drivers in yellow tonight. Those guys are the bubble drivers. And then you're going to see drivers in red who are behind the top 12. And then, of course, those in white, unfortunately, are pretty much eliminated from the series. As Fontaine, 39.98, he is P3. Stephen Miles, P8, a 40.08 for his first lap. There he is in that Ric Flair drip again. Tight grid here within about a half second right now. And look at Miles right now in the purple. Can the Georgia driver, the two-time champion, sawing on that wheel. So he's going to bring it down here. Got a couple bumps here. As he crosses the start-finish line. Bingo, 39.86 to the pole goes Miles. And it looks like he is going to be potentially the pole guy. And here's the guy I kind of teased you a second ago. In the O2 car for Ben Pierce this week, Braxton DeWeese, the Ohio driver, who, of course, earlier this season, the Sunday night series you saw on the Captain eSports Network, won the championship there in a last race win. Went all season long without a win, came close many times, but finally in that last race went to victory lane and won the championship. And he might do a last-minute thing here as he swings it off of turn 4. Mount got the wall. He's in the purple. And is he going to get the pole here? No! 39.87. Second by probably a skosh here off turn 4. I mean, it looked like he got tight there. But Stephen Miles wins the pole, presented by Spicy Schemes. So appreciate, again, what Sammy B has done, not only for the series, but basically helping start the series and helping this track be the home race of this series. Let's go trackside for the national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, 22 drivers set to go here tonight for 100 laps and 200 miles in the official running the season running Prehistoric Forest 200 presented by Union. Again, the longest running race in all of GLSR, happens every single season and has held its tradition here for a little while now of being the finale of the regular season. As we take a look at the starting lineup, as Stephen Miles on the pole, Braxton Deweese on the outside there in the O2 car, subbing in for the Ben Pierce All-Star team, which, by the way, has finished first and second the last 2 weeks. No pressure. Diego Sainz, Alex Price in a row 2, Sammy Fontaine, and Cedric the Entertainer Ingram, Brandon Alphin, and Matthew Wheeler there. Good qualifying effort for the 8th position. Jason Dalton got a Michigan pole here, and Jacob Thornton in the 42 car. Dylan Rosenberg, you see his number in yellow. He is safely in the playoffs, but he's right there. Let's put it like that. Sean Peachin on his outside. We're going to have the rest of the 10 cars that are in the field here tonight. Matt Telder in his first playoff. Lucas Strayer, Brian Sutphin, and Cam Ingram. Devin Ramsey, 13th in points. Needs a little bit of work to get up there into the top 12. Tyler Pluff, Richard Midkiff, Joey Ladisor, Caleb Fosnot, Tyler Brewer. Going to wrap up the 22 starters. 75 degrees, 94% or 94 degree track temp, I should say. Humidity at 51%, cloudy skies, and a little bit of wind there, 13 mile an hour. Have to see what direction that's coming out of. And of course, the series presented by Mr. Radiator. And the race tonight presented by Union. As we come off of turn number 4, coming to the green flag in front of a packed house in the Irish Hills of Michigan, as Stephen Miles and Braxton Deweese lead them to the green flag in the finale of the regular season here in Michigan. Our camera is presented by TrackCams22.com. You check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. As you see the field spreading out a little bit already. Miles sliding up the track and open the door for Diego Sainz. The winner from last season. What a half a year it has been for that 44 car. Already some issues. Dylan Rosenberg and the 42 of Jacob Thornton have gone around. I do not see any cautions yet, but that is trouble for one of the cars right on the edge of the playoffs. And caution has come out for the first time. And a big hello, Kevin. And I see your message. Let me see what I can do to get you in here somehow, because I think you need like permissions and different things like that to get you in here with me. I don't have that access. All right, let's see what happened here really quickly to bring out the first caution. Rosenberg in that 91 car. Rewind there, Wheeler on his outside. Thornton in the middle. A little bobble there, and Are we going to have a come together here? Oh, right there, Thornton and Wheeler get together. I'm sure Wheeler or Thornton's going to feel like he got squeezed a little bit there. 91, wrong place, wrong time there. Does a good job for the most part of getting that car checked up. I don't see much damage. Camera's a little off center, I'd say, huh? I don't see much damage in that 91. If any, yeah, I don't even see any. So I think he's going to be okay here. Looking at one more again here. It just looks like, I think, knowing Jake, he probably felt like he was getting kind of squeezed there and had to make a move. And when you look at it, I mean, I have been told that the cars feel kind of floaty down the back straightaway, kind of that Charlotte feel. So I wonder if that played a role in this. Either way, should be okay here. As we are under caution, back towards the back. A few of those drivers coming to pit road. Brian Sutphin actually did not take the green, so I'm not sure if he lost connection or something in that 26 car, but we shall see. All right, let's see what I can do for you here, Joey. But let's see real quick. Let's talk with a driver. Let's talk to 12th place right now in points, or yeah, going into this, and that's Joey Ladessor, actually. Joey, of course, French-Canadian driver, actually does some racing himself. As before we get the green here. Joey, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. He's got internet issues. Do you have internet issues?
I don't think so.
Tell her saying something over here. So, anyways, yeah. Welcome in, by the way. Quick question for you. Obviously, you're on the bubble. Any pressure?
Yes. Not really. I mean, the way my season's been going with all the bad luck, I figure it can't get any worse. So, I mean, the fact that I even have a chance to get in is kind of an odd blessing. So, I guess, you know, it's we've had some good races. We had the dirt race is kind of a crap show, but that's where I probably would have locked myself in, or at least got myself a little further up the list here. But there's no pressure. I got two guys to worry about on the track tonight. We're gonna try to keep an eye on them, keep them in check, and see where the cards fall, and then hopefully we'll put another KGD2 car in the playoffs and go from there.
A little bit of a pride dad moment real quickly as you get ready to come to the green flag. Mr. Tristan got himself a championship I saw recently.
He did, yeah. And we ran full time on Saturday nights at Mohawk Speedway in Aquasauksy, New York.
But bless you.
And he got 2 wins and won his track championship in the sportsman division. So we're real happy with that, and hopefully bigger, better things next year for him.
Attaboy. Okay, good luck tonight. Go get another. Well, yeah, you get a championship tonight, but go give yourself a chance.
Let's just get in the championship 12 and go from there. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Talk to you soon.
Yes,
Bye.
sir. Joey Ladessor, the driver here for KJD2. Big shout out to his son Tristan, who won that championship in whatever that town name was in New York. As we come off turn 4, is Braxton and Miles back at it again. This time, Braxton on the bottom, going to be the leader here. Alex Bryson, who the inside of row number 2 with Diego Sainz on his outside, and Sam Fontaine. As we work our way to turn 1, you'll see a couple different paint schemes. One, more importantly, that 21 car. A very patriotic car. Brandon Alphonse here tonight. I don't even want to speculate what that car could be, but I'm just going to leave that one alone. Cool paint scheme, though. I do like the colors, as always. There's Sean Peach in that Prudential number 69 car. He's the other driver that is right there on the bubble. The easiest way for these guys to get themselves off the bubble, win the race so that you get max points. Got to keep yourself out of trouble. The good news is this race only had 1 caution last year. Here's your 1 caution so far. In the previous 2 years of the Premier Series coming here. We had less than 5 cautions. As I think back to the previous years in the Truck Series, I don't remember too many races having a lot of cautions either. So it's always been fairly green. We've had usually one round of green flag pit stops. So I think the chances are we're going to see some pretty good racing here throughout here as we set ourselves up. Now, the one common theme, and I found this interesting, I don't know if we could do this a 4th time in a row, but one thing in common with this race, all 3 other years compared to tonight, is there have been 10 lead changes in all 3 races. We've already had 1. We'll leave it at that. So can we get 10 for a 4th straight race? Braxton edging out 0.2 of a second. Miles right there with Bryson and Fontaine side by side for 3rd. Sean Peachin and last season's winner, Diego Sainz, I started to talk about it a little bit with him. Last season, he had to literally win to be the 10th driver into the playoffs. As that time it was a win and get in. And Diego won this race, and ever since then he has been on a tear, leading the series in wins this year. And now going 3 wide almost with Fontaine, who got a little free off turn 2. You could argue that Diego's been the guy to beat this season. So Peachin already up to the 4th position down that 69 car. So you wonder if Sean is expecting maybe an early yellow here, because he's going full tilt here, which is going to burn his tires up a little bit. And you see these cars kind of washing around a little bit here on the back straightaway. This is something I've kind of talked about a little bit at Charlotte, where normally the car will kind of roll a little bit, just like it's on top of the track or something. And I talked to a couple drivers tonight. They said they're kind of getting that feeling here on the backstretch. So you're going to notice the car's kind of swaying almost, if you will. Now let's go on board with Fontaine here through 1 and 2, and we'll let you watch the wheel on the backstretch here. You're going to notice the car just kind of sways a little bit here. See how the wheel's kind of moving around a little bit? Car's kind of bobbling left and right. Actually, looks like Sam was kind of okay there. And the only way I've ever been able to work around that on here, because it's almost like there's a dead spot in the wheel, is go higher up on the steering ratio. Luis only about a 10th or so over Alex Bryson. Sean Peachin now is up to 3rd as he battles with Jason Dalton. All, see what we got here. 13 of the 21 cars on track right now, within 2 seconds of the lead. Currently right now, 11th position in points is Sean Peachin. He currently runs now 4th as he was not able to get by Dalton. As he'll reset, not Fontaine, sorry, but Ladisor is running in the 17th position right now and is currently 12th in points. Devin Ramsey's right there behind him, as there he is in a 9 car, 13th in points. We're going to keep an eye on those drivers. Tyler Brewer also going to keep an eye on. And then we look here, if I see the 33, I don't even think Robert is here tonight. So, unfortunately for the 33 car, he will not make the playoffs unless he put in a provisional, which then even it's only a certain amount of points he'll be able to get there. So, Robert Lukens, unfortunately, will not make the playoffs. So that pretty much leaves us at Devin Ramsey, Joey Ladisor, Sean Peachin, Tyler Pluff, Lucas Strayer, Dylan Rosenberg. Those drivers all battling it out here from about 8th to 13th. So one driver out of those five or six I mentioned will not make the playoffs here tonight. For the lead, 3 wide, as Dalton and Bryson both go around Deweese. I'm not sure if Braxton made a mistake or something, but those two had a great run to the inside, and the two able to clear for the lead as our third lead change of the race. That's brought Sean Peachin up here. And Braxton going to come back for it. My guess is a 2-car will lead this lap. Appreciate the viewers hanging out here tonight. Hello to the Facebook page for Braxton Deweese, as per usual. Chris and Doug and the guys have all brought their friends and family over to watch the broadcast. Hello, guys. Hopefully you're doing well, by the way. I know we haven't talked since, when's it, October? September? When did the season end? Before football season. Ooh, Braxton about got the wall off turn 4 again. Here comes, oh, Peachin almost got into Dalton. Up front, these guys racing hard. This shows you how powerful the draft is around this 2-mile oval, as Peachin had to get out of it there. Almost got into the 0-2. That's going to kill his momentum. Here comes Miles, and there is going to be a choo-choo train going by here. Miles going to go by for 4th. Going to bring Diego with him for 5th. Check back here to the 10th position. Look who's worked his way back up here. So that damage, obviously, not a big deal on the 91 car of Dylan Rosenberg. Oh, somebody going for a spin there. I think it's Cedric Ingram. Or, nope, sorry, it's Matthew Wheeler that's down here. I saw a red car, and I was like, wait, where's he going? And he's going to continue on as we stay green. Now, it's starting to say Dylan Rosenberg up to the 10th position here. Dylan on that flatter part of this 18-degree banking. I know it sounds kind of weird saying flatter part. You're like, wait, 18 degrees of banking. How do you go flatter? Well, believe it or not, Michigan, the way this track was built, the inside lane, down there where you see Alphen at right now, and even over in turn 1, was built with a little less banking than the actual 18 degrees that you see in the middle part of the corner. Not sure if it has to do with foundation maybe settling or something, which would be ironic that the bottom lane has settled in all the track, but I don't know if it has to do with just the way the track was built or whatnot, but it has produced some fantastic racing here. You are looking now at 10 cars in a pack. I kid you not, 19 laps in, and what looked like was going to get spread out a little bit has all of a sudden become a 10-car pack. Make that 12 cars now. Nice, and climbing up to the top. Dalton also about 3 grooves up. As look at Telder up here, the Michigan-born driver. Lives about, I don't know the exact math, but I would say probably about an hour and a half west of Michigan. The Grand Rapids driver there. Mr. Telder, a frequent visitor of Berlin Raceway. Oh, giving Alphen a little bit of a boost there down the back straightaway as Peachin has fallen back into their clutches now. Fantastic stuff throughout the field here. As everybody's starting to snake here a little bit now, it's like you think tire fall off might be coming into play here, but like everybody's done a good job of taking care of their cars here. We're only about halfway into this run. You can go about 40 laps or so, 40 to 45 on a tank of fuel. Oh, as Bryson and Diego about come together. The one thing though you do got to watch is for those in the playoff contention, 1 bonus point for leading at halfway. There's no caution for it, but there is a halfway bonus. And that 1 point could come into play here if somebody like Devin Ramsey back in the 16th position. Obviously, if you're not able to lead that lap, you want to try to get the optimal position you can. As we ride on board with the 1 car. There's Mr. Telder. Of course, he's got 40 Racewear that he wears. Not only that, but also sports on his car. He and Devin Ramsey. I want to give a shout out to Jim Herrick. Actually sent me a message here this week and got a chance to talk for a minute. But Jim obviously doing a good job working hard down in the Indianapolis area. If you're looking for gloves and shoes to help your iRacing experience or whatever sim you race on, check out 40racewear.com. They could have what you are looking for. Very comfortable stuff, shoes and gloves. As go up here to Diego, he and Bryson continue to run side by side here. So I did dig up some numbers here. Of course, we've had 3 different winners in the 3 years, or 3 seasons, that this car has run here. Of course, the trucks ran back in the day, and as I think back to it, we have never had a repeat winner, if I remember correctly, in this race. I'm trying to remember the last couple of winners there, because there was a couple of seasons, obviously, I didn't broadcast, but I know the first... I'm pretty sure that we have not had a repeat winner. As battle for second, here comes Mr. Long Run. Miles to the inside. And Miles on that long list of drivers that you could consider a favorite here tonight. As we look at some of those drivers, the best finishing driver in the field that has run all 4 races going into tonight, or 3 races going into tonight. Alex Bryson averaging a 5th place finish along with Sean Peachin. And Peyton Johnson's there too, but Peyton missing his first of the 200-mile races. Here we go, 3 wide for the lead now. Well, these drivers have brought their A game tonight. Braxton going to get the lead back. 1 car, that's Rosenberg. He's got the outside wall. Look up here in 4th all of a sudden. Here comes Brandon Alphen. Other drivers, Lucas Strayer, believe it or not, 5.7 average along with Jason Dalton. Diego Sainz, 7.3. Brandon Alphen, 8th. You might wonder why I haven't said Fontaine or Miles. Remember, I mentioned, if you remember last week, Fontaine, I said, hey, it's your track that you seem to struggle at the most, that being Michigan. He's averaging a 13th place finish here in the 3 different races he has run here. So Fontaine has his struggles here. Not only that, but the guy trying to get the lead, Stephen Miles, who now gets the lead. A 12th place average finish for the 24 car. He's trying to help that average right now as he moves to the lead. Dalton to second, DeWeese back to third. It's like a super speedway race broke out in Michigan. You see that right front damage on the 91 car a little bit there. Got Cam Ingram, Cedric Ingram, dad and son right there, 11th and 12th. The before mentioned Lucas Stroud contact, and Rosenberg's in the infield again. More argy-bargy, not sure who got him this time. We're going to find out right here. Not sure, there's damage with the 5? I mean, net code, baby. Yeah. Stay green, lap 30. Now Rosenberg falls back to the 14th position. And there's Devin Ramsey there behind him, 15th right now. As Jacob Thornton brings the 42 car to pit road here at lap 30. A little early, but maybe a strategy call there. We'll have to see on the Juan Pablo Montoya special. So as we've had a quick moment to settle down here real quickly, let's take a look at the playoff schedule and what it looks like here for the rest of the season. Of course, after tonight, we'll come back next week, Chicagoland Speedway, which has been traditionally the final race of the season. Of course, that's been moved up, and we'll kick off the playoffs there next week. 130-lap race, then we hit the road course of Road America, Elkhart Lake, on the 20th, right before Thanksgiving, and then Vegas there on the 27th, the night before Thanksgiving. And then we'll take the following week off before we go to Kern County for the first time ever. A short track race to eliminate the drivers to the final 4 before we hit Auto Club Speedway on the 18th to crown a champion right before Christmas. That's how it looks. As Joey Landesor said during that caution, we spoke to him for a minute. He said you got to get to the playoffs first. And that's what these guys are trying to settle in, what spot they're going to be in at the end of it all. Not going to have any kind of OEM shenanigans going on tonight. Will there be team shenanigans? Can't rule that out. I mean, we've seen it. Alleged. Luis a little tight there, it looks like, in that 02 car, and that parachute's come out as he's fallen all the way back to the 9th position now. You are looking at 11 cars all within a half a second before you fall back to Cedric Ingram, who's about a half second or so back from Lucas Strayer. There's the fresh tires on the 42. It's a second back to Tyler Bluff in the 39 car. And then another second back to Devin Ramsey. So this shows you again how important this draft is. And here comes Dylan Rosenberg to pit road here. 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. And this is right at the 1/3 mark of this race. So that right front must be really hurting the 02 or the 91 car. should be 4 tires and fuel. And there you see the leaders coming off turn 4 right now, so he'll go a lap down as Cedric Ingram's going to come to pit road. Did Diego Sainz miss the pit stall? Something happened to the 44. Was he trying to come to pit road? I think he might have been. So Ingram makes his 4-tire stop, 14.6. And Braxton DeWeese going to come to pit road, the 02. So he'll be in for 4 tires and fuel. Looks like the 44 actually stays out now. These guys going to try to undercut the field. And here comes the leader, Miles, to pit road. He's coming in hot. Again, 55 mile an hour to your stall. As Sainz, Pluff, and Wheeler all on pit road here at lap number 37. Do not want to make a mistake, especially if you're right there on the bubble of missing out on the playoffs. A 14.1 for Stephen Miles. Great stop. As now Alfin and Bryson come in along with Strayer as he leaves pit road. Tyler Pluff, as mentioned, was on pit road along with Wheeler. Clean so far, no penalties to speak of. Tyler Brewer now on pit road also. A very tight apron. Got to be very careful how quick you get on the track there in turn 2. It will bite you if you get up there early. Bryson and Alfin leave their pit stall. As Jason Dalton and looks like pretty much all of the KJD2 cars, along with Cam Ingram, coming to pit road. That leaves Sean Peach and Devin Ramsey, Joey Ladisor as your only cars who have not pitted yet here at lap 40. As Dalton will get away. And I'm going to show you guys something here just a second that is very impressive I've come across really quickly. As Sean Peachin now on pit road, handing the lead over to Devin Ramsey, who's now going to lead a lap. And I'm actually going to use, while we go through the pit stops here, is Peachin. Looks like 4 tires and fuel, and he will pull away. Should be a little bit of a slower stop of 15.1. But you look over here on the right side of the map, you see that 24 being so far ahead of the 21 car. You're like, well, that's pretty impressive. How did he pull this off? Well, when I show you this here on the left side of the screen, check out the total time of pit road from the 21. You're going to be like, wait a minute, did he take 2 tires or something? No, this is a legit time on pit road from the time he entered the pits to the time he exited. He is 1.3 seconds faster than Brandon Alfin, and there is nobody else in the 42-second bracket on total delta on pit road. Stephen Miles by far outran everybody on pit road that time by, and hence, look where he is now as he takes the lead by 2.7 seconds now over Brandon Alphin, Alex Bryson third, Cedric Ingram, Braxton DeWeese, your top 5. Somebody's been practicing their pit stops. I mean, there's nobody. I mean, I'm looking down to 43s. A 43.7 is the quickest second time. So we have 1.3 seconds faster than everybody else. So that 24 car, pretty solid right now, pit stop wise. We'll take you through the field and show you where everybody is here so far at lap 43, 7 laps from halfway. Stephen Miles leads it by 2.7 seconds over Brandon Alphin, as he's got his teammate Alex Bryson there behind him in third. Cedric Ingram up to the 4th position, and Braxton DeWeese right there on the tail end of the top 5. Jacob Thornton, who short pitted there at lap 30, he runs now in the 6th position, and unfortunately he's probably going to fall back here a little bit now as these tires wear out. Lucas Strayer there behind him in the 8th position. And then back 1.3 seconds as Diego Sainz there 9th with Tyler Pluff there behind him in 10th. Matt Telder in the 11th position. Sam Fontaine struggling right now in the 12th spot. Dylan Rosenberg in 13th. Sean Peach in 14th. Staying out late and then a little bit of a slower stop has kind of hurt the 69 car there. Cam Ingram 15th. Matthew Wheeler 16th. Tyler Brewer 17th. There's Devin Rams in the 18th position. Devin might need to think of a different strategy here potentially to get himself out of the back of the field. Maybe a short pit here at the second stop. Joey Ladisor right now 19th. Richard Midkiff is 20th. 21st, Caleb Fosnot. And as mentioned, Brian Sutphin did not start the race. So you might be asking, like, so what do you do here? If you're Devin Ramsey, who rides in the 18th position right now, well, of course, the longer this race goes, the more spread out the field's going to get during pit stops. So I think there's a couple scenarios he can try here. Now, are they race-winning scenarios? No. But there's one scenario that I can see him maybe trying here that it's a Hail Mary throw, but if a caution comes out at the right time, could put him in a good position. And that would be to come to pit road as soon as the fuel window opens for him. Get tires, get fuel, and do the undercut. And jump and get as much as you can on fresh tires so that when everybody else comes to pit road, you're now further ahead. At that point, obviously, you become the slower car when everybody pits, but then a yellow comes out, you've stolen the track position. So that could be one move you see them do in this situation, but and the other thing you do is what he just did. Run as far as you can and see what happens. So the battle on here for the 8th position with Diego Sainz, Tyler Pluff, Matt Telder. They have 3 different groups. This is the old Michigan we remember right here. Brandon Alphin, second of the 1, 2, 3 right now in this laser racing top 3 sweep right now. Shades of back a few seasons ago when Matt Telder had his team, the Lap 1 Legends, He had Justin Bonder and Alex Cummings a part of that team. And they found a way in the truck series to literally do their own little version of a tandem. And they were able to stretch out the whole entire field and run off on their own and finish 1-2 in that race. Jump back here to the 11th position as 6 cars under a blanket as we cross the halfway point next time by. And that'll give the bonus points to the bonus point, I should say, to the 24 car. As a matter of fact, here comes Miles off turn 4 right now. So the halfway leader, Stephen Miles, of this Prehistoric Forest 200 presented by Union. So he'll get a bonus point added to his point total. As now Jason Dalton, as you see, is gripped on to the back of Alex Bryson for second, third, and fourth. Now, for those who are new to the channel, we appreciate you joining us. Hit that subscribe button as always. And you might be asking, why is this race called the Prehistoric Forest 200? Yes, it's a story I share every year, but, you know, obviously for new viewers, they might not know the story. Did you know that back in the 1960s and 70s, there was a forest that was a theme park that was just to the east of this Michigan Speedway? It was known as the Prehistoric Forest. Obviously, there was actually some still left monuments there of, I believe there's still a dinosaur sitting there. Remnants of the waterfall that used to sit there, but this park was open back in the heyday, and it used to be a big tourist spot. But then obviously lack of people later on in times in late 80s, early 90s, the park shut down. And if you happen to go out to the Michigan Speedway, and I believe it's Highway 12 that runs, thank you, Teller, focus on the race. And if you're on Highway 12 there next to the track and go to the east, you run right past this theme park that sits there dormant. And Travis Icavaci, when him and Sam Barnes brought the series up, and of course Travis being a Michigan native, said, hey, we're going to do a race called the Prehistoric Forest 200. That's how I learned about it. That's the name of the race. Now, this is where you know Teller's bored because he's messaging me while racing in chat. Here's Teller back here in 7th, running all by himself. Cedric Ingram now catching him. Sean Peach and a whole second pack we were just watching. Coming up to the back of him. That lead up front's getting smaller, by the way, as Alfin and Bryson and Dalton are drafting their way up there. Want to send a shout out to MC Racing, of course, here in the downtown Fort Wayne area, as they're always supporting the captain, showing the race here on their screens as residents go in and do some sim racing themselves and get to learn what all of us like to do, and that is race with the friends and stuff that we have and enemies and so on and so forth. A big shout out to Mark, though, for doing what he does and helping out the sim racing community and putting on a good show there at MC Racing in downtown Fort Wayne, right across the street from what I saw was like a whole lot of people voting yesterday and stuff. Rewind right here for the 10th position as Sam Fontaine is in a gunslinger sandwich. Signs on his inside, Cedric Ingram on his outside. Fontaine's going to slide up to the 10th position. The lead has kind of settled down again after I thought the draft might catch Miles. Miles has done a good job of kind of maintaining that battle. Everybody else is pretty much settled down here, so they're just logging laps and trying to get what they can here. As Lucas Strayer and Braxton DeWeese here for 5th and 6th. Those guys fighting it out a little bit. Telder trying to catch this battle now. As we show you the point standings again that was entering tonight's race, that's where it looked like. As Devin Ramsey had a 3-point disadvantage on Joey Ladasor. As we look at the standings right now, Ramsey is literally 1 spot ahead of Joey. So at this moment, he would fall up 2 spots short. And the only other person that's had a rough run in this race so far is Dylan Rosenberg. And Dylan's too far up ahead for Devin to get to. So right now, the top 12, the way it looks, would be the top 12 starting the playoffs next week. So I think you're at a point right now. Remember the wild card position here. If you're 10th through 20th in points and you win a race, you get in as a wild card driver. So I think if you're somebody, let's actually show this again really quickly while these guys race on. But let's look at, we'll skip Peach and Ladasor because they're pretty much in right now unless somebody else wins. If you're Devin Ramsey or Tyler Brewer, Jacob Thornton, Cedric Ingram, or even Fosnot, any of those drivers whose name I just mentioned, not in the top 10 in points, can think of some kind of Hail Mary type of move. I mean, right now, obviously, as you're clean and green since lap 5, it's going to be very tough to do and almost impossible, let's just be honest. But my job as a broadcaster is to play up drama. You got to think of something here. And that one move I think you have left is either run the tank out in fuel or short pit. So they're second, third, and fourth behind Stephen Miles, 1.4 seconds now. But behind is Alfin, Bryson, and Dalton, and it's 2.8 seconds now back to Lucas Strayer, who is in the 5th position. He's got Telder to his inside. Telder, some might argue, the most improved driver of this series. I believe it now would be the 2nd time I think he's won this award. The award, I don't think even happens anymore, to be honest with you. Braxton DeWeese there behind him in the 0-2 car. Sean Peach in there in 8th. And Cam Ingram there behind them in 10th. Of course, Telder getting that first win finally at Eldora. He's been trying to be consistent throughout the season. Entered the series 5th in points and in the playoffs for the first time in his career. On the other end of the spectrum here is Dylan Rosenberg in the 20th position right now. As Richard Midkiff, I think, got around him. And that nose damage, unfortunately, is affecting the 91 as we speak. Check this out. Cedric Ingram going around Sam Fontaine for 11th. Or trying to pass the 77. As we hit the 2/3 mark, appreciate everybody hanging out in the chat here tonight. Hopefully you're enjoying the race and the broadcast. If so, hit that subscribe button. These guys race each and every Wednesday night, of course, through December. Of course, we have another league race tomorrow night at Charlotte Motor Speedway before our usual new tradition of 3 nights off, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we've actually been working on a little something. With the ideas of my crazy mind and some inspiration from others, I've been given the idea of, with the help of some guys on iRacing, not to find the individual's name who has actually done this. There have been some people that have done some work for AI racing and stuff on iRacing, with one involves stage racing and the other one involving like paint schemes and ratings that can randomize and stuff off of selections and that kind of thing, where it allows you to run some kind of realistic AI racing. And after the whole shenanigans at Martinsville last week, we have thought of the idea, and yes, I am stepping away from the streaming and broadcasting part, obviously, as we get done with all these races, but I am going to step ahead and we are going to simulate the 2023 or 2024 season and just say, you know what if there wasn't any playoffs in racing? We're going to let AI have a little fun with it. Speaking of fun, Luis getting around Telder now is all of a sudden falling back after getting around Strayer of the O2, looking a little sporty now up there against the boards. Yeah, if these three line up, they could try to make some headway on Jason Dalton in that 2 car. Ooh, Braxton having a little blinky there. Yeah, check on that Miamisburg internet. Look right here behind Dalton. You got Braxton, you got Telder, you got Strayer, you got Peach and Ingram, Signs, all of them in the top 10 hanging right here. They could easily, if the handling works out right, draft their way right up to Jason Dalton. Telder just needs to stay in line and push. Push, push, Telder, push, push. He'll probably laugh at that. Shout out to Lucas Strayer. Or Lucas Strayer. Luke Daniels, who I just called Lucas Strayer. He's really going to hate me now. I need sleep. We come up to 31 laps to go. The window is open. So this is where I talked about, if you want to take a chance, do it. Here comes Brandon Alphin. He's solidly in the playoffs, but he's going to come to pit road. Thornton going to come in there with him. Pay a lot for his internet. 4 tires to field, so 21 pulls away. As here comes the leader, Miles, to pit road. Lucas Strayer coming in. So with these guys pitting here at lap 70, these guys are pitting on the early side. So with that said, I'm going as long as I can now. If I'm one of those drivers trying to get in, go run that tank all the way out. Larry McReynolds, even Steve Letard has said it on broadcast. You follow the leader the whole entire time, you're not going to ever get by him. You're going to follow him the whole time. So do something different. As AB comes to pit road. That leaves Jason Dalton out there in the lead now in the 2 car. Alex Bryson, as I mentioned, on pit road. Sean Peach and Joey Lanasor, Dylan Rosenberg all in. Do you guys have the traditional internets out there, Chris? Do you have or do you have Frontier? Because I think they're the main one out here, right? Or do you have the Xfinities and the usuals? Oh, hold on, Jason, as he gets a little free going in. Matthew Wheeler on pit road. Now this could get very interesting back here at the 16th position. Now I talked about Ramsey getting in, potentially doing something different. The other small move, this is one of those situations where I think about this more and more. It's like it's 4th and 1 towards the end of the game, and you decide to throw a bomb up the field instead of going for the little quarterback sneak. The quarterback sneak play for Devin Ramsey is to try to get 3 positions ahead of Joey Ladazor. And in that case, he would jump him. That sounds about right. That should be still pretty good. I've never had a problem with them when I had them before. Matter of fact, I had them over when I was in Georgia before I came up here. I had Spectrum. So Signs, Cam Ingram, Richard Midkiff all on pit road. And let's look at Braxton's up here running the boards. He's up here in Detroit running that lane. As Telder's going to go below him for the lead here. According to my math here, 4 cars yet to pit. Telder, Deweese, Fontaine, and Ingram. As Braxton's going to come to pit road. Cedric Ingram coming in with him, so that leaves 2 cars now to pit. The field all kinds of spread out here. Tires and fuel for both drivers. So as they pull away, Telder's still the leader. As he and Fontaine's actually on pit road now. But I'm going to jump back here because this is going to be the battle we're going to end up watching, I think. Because now that this race has kind of spread itself out and kind of has, I don't want to call it a clear picture of what's going to happen here, because obviously a yellow could completely throw this whole thing off. But as of right now, it's going to come down to these 2 guys who are sitting 0.8 of a second apart. Devin Ramsey and Joey Ladisor. Joey's doing exactly what we need to do. Just keep Devin in your sights. You know, the cars up ahead of Devin right now, all pitted after him. So they've got the fresher tires by a lap or more. So the chances of Devin catching, you know, the likes of Braxton DeWeese, who just came out of pit road, or Matthew Wheeler, who's 2 seconds ahead, you know, the chances are a little less than they were if he were to pit later in the run. So Devin's probably going to need some help here from a yellow, or he's going to need Tyler Pluff and Sam Fontaine to catch Ladisor. Now, I'm going to throw this little caveat out there. Fontaine is teammates with Ladisor. And Fontaine now 3.6 seconds back of his teammate there. So there's basically one car between Ladisor and Pluff, or Ladisor and Fontaine, and that's Tyler Pluff here. So if Joey were to hypothetically get passed here by Tyler, you could see Fontaine be the teammate. We'll have to see how it all works out, though. Anything can happen. Telder going to play something different. He's going to run this tank all the way down to lap number 79. And here he comes to pit road. He's going to have the freshest tires out of everybody. Locks it down 55 miles an hour. In a Mr. Radiator KGD2 car. That'll hand the lead to Stephen Miles, who will have a 2.1 second lead over Brandon Alphin. Well, there we go. Everybody is pitted, so unless we get a yellow, everybody's made their final pit stop here with 21 laps to go. This prehistoric Forest 200, I want to say the 14th time we've ever run this race. I know we did, what, 10 series, I think? 10 races or 10 seasons of this? I'm trying to remember how many truck seasons we did. And then, of course, this will be the 4th in the Premier Series, the B car. And Sean Peach and Cam Ingram, Lucas Strayer, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Ooh, Cam got a little loose there. I think Sean tried to push him a little bit there, and it almost went wrong. So earlier, I mentioned Ladisor and his teammates, of course, from KGD2. Of course, he has Fontaine and Telder now 14th and 15th. Now, the other side of things, I mentioned Devin Ramsey. Does he have teammates? He does. Here's the problem. They're all at the front. 1, 2, and 3. Miles, Bryson, and Alphin. So I think this is going to be something to keep an eye on here, potentially, as two of the better teams fighting for a bubble spot. I made the comment earlier in this race that you wouldn't see OEMs do what they did at Martinsville, but it doesn't mean we couldn't have teams doing it. We've seen different spots in season history where it appears that teams have helped their own teams with moves. Can it happen again tonight? Matter of fact, Telder has now passed both Ramsey and Tyler Pluff and Joey Ladisor, and Fontaine is actually trying to get around Pluff and Ramsey right now back here. This is at the 12th and 13th positions. As Jacob Thornton is taking his car, looks like behind the wall. Unfortunately, the 42 going to finish 21st. As Fontaine will, whoa, for a second clear the 9, but the 9 fights back. And now Cedric Ingram has gone by the 23. So now they are tied right now for the 12th position. Oh, easy. All right, Fontaine clears. Tyler Pluff's gonna clear. So there for about a half a lap, it was tied for the 12th position in points, but now it looks like it's gonna go back to the +3 that Ladisor had. With 14 laps to go in this race. Of course, all this is unofficial because the points is literally off of my head. Let's see, 1 position a point, 3-point difference, carry the 1. Yeah, that three positions. And you don't need any kind of Abbott and Costello math to figure that one out. Ooh, easy, Cedric. Let's go up here as Diego and Strayer battled out here for 8th. And Deweese right there behind him. Sean Peachin trying to get away. '86. Dropping it down low here in the Wabash car. Back here for 13th. The battles continue. Wonder how much these guys actually know, like, the point situation right now. I'm pretty sure if Telder's still watching the stream, he's probably talking with Ladisor, letting him know, but then you heard Joey's reaction earlier, and you know, I'm sure Joey's doing his best with his situation right now. Question then is, what about Bryson and Alphin and Miles? Of those guys, are they hearing what's going on with Ramsey, and maybe they're trying to verbally give him some advice to help him out, or whatever they're doing? Ooh, Diego slides up in front of Sean. Peachin's in a 1, there they spin. Oh, into the inside wall. Caution is out. Oh boy. Signs and Peachin come together. And this is big for the 11th position in points. See if we can get a replay of this, but this is a big moment right now. Unsure if Diego was trying to help him out or if I'll have to get a better view of this. I'm just going for the same piece of real estate, unfortunately. But let's cut ahead real quick because all the leaders, everybody's on pit road. Should be 4 tires and fuel, I would think, for everybody. I don't see any 2-tire stops. Yep, that's pretty much what it is. 4 and fuel for everyone. All right, so now let's go evaluate because we were so focused on the 12th and 13th place battle here at the end that unfortunately the guy that was 11th in points just had problems. As we look at Peachin, he was 8 points ahead of Joey Ladassour. So right now Peachin is 8 ahead of Ladassour. He's 11 ahead of Devin Ramsey. And I'm seeing Peachin in the 9th or 19th position right now, and he's not going to go any further back. So at this moment, Ramsey would have to finish 8th. Now he could still obviously jump Joey Ladassour here. But Ladassour would have to finish 8 points ahead to get to Peachin. So Peachin right now is still in, even though he's going to finish 19th. But Ramsey has to finish 8th now to jump him. And that's, meanwhile, there are bonus points and stuff in here, but I'm just going off positions right now. So this is interesting right now to look at. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do now, since I've thought about as we're double filed up here, getting ready for the restart, that's going to come with 7 laps to go after the second caution here of the night. Let me go peek really quick at the rule book here. It's I don't see anything about bonus points. As the pace car pulls it, oh, but never mind, it's down here. Regular season bonus points lead to most laps and lead a lap. Ramsey led a lap earlier, so let's put that one on the list. As we go green, Miles up front is the Laser Racing team is pretty much dominated here tonight. Look at Cam Ingram, who restarts in the 3rd position. Oh, one car sideways. Made the save, whoever that was. I think that was Diego. Great save on his part. Five laps to go. Ramsey up to 12th. Ladisor to 16th. So if I do the math correctly, Ramsey led a lap. I'm not sure if Joey did. As around goes the Wheeler and others involved, including Ramsey. Cedric Ingram involved. Sam Fontaine's involved. And once again, Michigan bites the 77 car. How much damage does the 9 car have? And rear end's ripped off of it. Ladisor looks like it's clean coming through. Let's see what happened. All 10 and 39 looks like a little bit of trouble there. Fontaine gets into the 9. Hard into the wall. Brewer gets involved, so does Cedric Ingram. Devin needs to try to get his damage fixed as much as possible. I think Sean Peachin, you just heard a big sigh of relief for him, as it looks like his playoffs are okay now, depending on how much damage that 9 has. No, interesting. I see Ramsey's still on pit road. And he's already gone a lap down. And it looks like we're going to go to overtime. All of a sudden, this race has become attrition at the end. So can Laser Racing finish off a 1-2-3? The problem is Alphen has fallen back to the 5th position now. Make that 6th, it looks like. As they'll double up here. And we'll get a green-white checker finish in this Prehistoric Forest 200. As Stephen Miles looks to get his 2nd win in the Premier Series at this track. So far, Tyler Brewer, Dylan Rosenberg, who was not involved in a wreck, but he's been trying to get damage fixed, and Matthew Wheeler, the only 3 cars that have been able to get back on track after that accident. So it looks like it is pretty much going to be set. The 12 cars that'll race for the playoffs starting next week. The spoiler in here, let me just check. Never mind, he's too far down. I was going to say it would be the 5 car, but he's too far down in the points. Hell yeah, unless some weird shenanigans, that's the third time I said that word here this race, happens, we're pretty much set for next week. Stephen Miles with the outside lane, his teammate to his inside, Alex Bryson. With Braxton Deweese to his inside there in the 02 car. The 5 of Cam Ingram, the 21 of Brandon Alford leading him to the green flag. Green-white checker, overtime number 1. Miles gets clear. The battle for second as Deweese gets to the inside. But not able to clear that 38 as they go down the back straightaway here. Bryson trying to get to the top side, trying to get any kind of run on the 24 car. As Miles going to take the white flag, final lap. As he and Fontaine continue to just battle now for the all-time wins list in the Premier Series section of this GLSR League. As Bryson with a good run off 2 uses the draft here. Got one last shot at his teammate. As he brings it off turn number 4. And for the second time in the Premier Series, Stephen Miles gets the win in a Prehistoric Force 200. Holding off his teammate AB, Alex Bryson. Braxton Deweese going to finish 3rd. Cam Ingram, Jason Dalton, your top 5. As Miles picks up his 3rd win of the season, becomes the second 3-time winner, along with Diego Sainz. Unofficially, Joey Ladisor finishing in the 9th position. Sean Peach in 19th. And Devin Ramsey 18th. So it looks like, I'm going to check where Tyler Brewer was in points there, but I think he should be safe. It should be Sean Peach and then Ladisor being the 11th and 12th drivers in the playoffs, as we'll have 2 wild cards in the top 12 in points, making it into the playoffs unofficially. As we take a look at the finishing order, as Miles wins it, gets his 3rd win of the season. Alex Bryson 2nd, Braxton Deweese gets a 3rd straight top 3 for the 02 car. Cam Ingram 4th, Jason Dalton 5th, Brandon Alford 6th, Tyler Pluff 7th, Dylan Rosenberg 8th, Joey Ladisor 9th, and Matt Telder finishing 10th with Tyler Brewer 11th. Diego Sainz 12th, Richard Midkiff 13th. Lucas Strayer finishes 14th, and Matthew Wheeler gets a 15th place finish. 16th to Sam Fontaine, Cedric Ingram, Devin Ramsey, Sean Peachin, Caleb Foston, Jacob Thornton, your 21 drivers that started here tonight, and Brian Sutphin finishing in the 21st position. Got a lot of stuff to talk about here this evening, as we'll talk to our top 3 finishers now. Starting with the new guy, finishing in the 3rd position tonight, as Braxton Deweese comes in, subbing and filling in for that All-Star 02 car and gets a 3rd straight top 3 finish. And Braxton, I think we've done this a lot this year, but it's been a little while since you've been in the booth with us again. But good to see you back here, and good to see a top 3 finish out of you once again tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's always good to talk to you, Chris, up here in the Captain eSports booth. But all in all, we had ourselves a pretty good race. I feel like it could have been a little better, but podium's always pretty good for a debut race here.
Yeah, not bad. Obviously, filling in that 02 car and coming in tonight, running a track that you know pretty well. And obviously, I think the biggest difference is I think this is more of a modified setup, where normally in the other series it's a fixed setup. So obviously a little bit to learn here tonight. But how cool is it to have 12 cars at one point in the middle of that race running in a pack together?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty exciting. I kind of wish we had saved our tires there a little bit better on the first run. I kind of felt like that, set us back for the rest of the race, considering it went green until that last caution there. But, it was pretty fun to be able to race around with them guys. The setup got a little tight, in my opinion. I probably could have done something a little different with the settings, potentially, or honestly, I could have just drove it differently. All in all, it was pretty fun, and, like I said, it was wishing could have been a little better there, but, it is what it is. That caution really helped out. We were going to finish 6th if that caution didn't come out, and we were able to take advantage and get to 3rd.
Well, great job tonight, man. Good to see you, obviously, and all the best to the family and friends there, and send some shouts whoever you like to.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Definitely shout out to Interstate Ford. First time with the 02 on. I felt like we've had so many numbers on the Interstate Ford cars, but, I'm just trying to stay busy and trying to get as much track time as I can to, keep myself prepared for real life and just on here in general. So big shout out to them, as well as Allen's Arts Images, Ben's Biblical, Jane's on Main, Deweese Renovations, Booth 34 Diecast, Ravis Photography, Blaze Designs, as well as Evan Pineda Designs, and Bullet All Coffee Company. You can use Brax5 for 10% off over there. And I want to give a shout out to Ben Pierce as well, and the Powerhouse guys for letting me run the 02 car. And I'm glad we were able to, get it 3 top 3 finishes in a row. I believe that's what you said. But all in all, even though it was the worst finish, we'll definitely take it. It's still a good run, and just shows that we got some talent behind these Powerhouse doors. So looking forward to the future with these guys and whatever else we do.
Absolutely, man. Well, great job tonight.
I appreciate it, Chris. And if I don't talk to you before the holidays or whatnot, you have a great rest of your holidays, and hope you take care, man.
Absolutely. You do the same to your family. So Braxton Deweese, a 3rd place finish here tonight, and obviously a great job on his part. And yeah, we can kind of stab each other there and say, hey, he finished the worst out of the 3, but no, Braxton's a good family there, so out of Ohio. So all right, let's talk with our top 2 finishers here. AB finishes in the 2nd position to lock out the 1-2 for the Laser Racing team. Of course, Brandon finishing 6th, so not too bad of an average there for you guys. But obviously the speed is there amongst you guys right now. It seems like every week you guys are running 1, 2, 3 at one point in the race. But for you tonight, Alex, a 2nd place finish going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish we all would have finished 1, 2, 3 there. I think that's what we were kind of banking on, until that last caution. But yeah, I mean, the speed's there. I mean, the guy who won the race, he carries all the speed for this team. This team's a family, and we work together as a family, and we do this as one group and one unit. So shout out to Stephen Miles for keeping our heads in the game every lap and every second, and feeding us information. We're feeding him information back. But overall 2nd. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to catch him just because I don't have turn 3 down here. Really didn't practice this setup either. That kind of hampered me a little bit, but I'm not going to make excuses. The best race car driver won, and I'll take 2nd any day of the week behind that man.
Well, great job, obviously, in this race, but now you get to go at it again. You've been up there in the Final 4 the last couple of seasons. What do we got to do here these next few weeks? There's a couple wild cards in here. You got this road course now at Road America. You've got a short track at Kern County that is going to come into play here that you got to get yourself into the top 4 in points.
Yeah, just got to practice more, really work on Kern. Pretty straight with road courses. I say that and probably get taken out lap 1, turn 1. But mean, overall, it's gonna be a very fun environment. It's gonna be, it's gonna be great racing. So just got to put the time in, work at it, and just try to be there at the end again. And it's hard to catch this 24 car. He's in a class of his own, and Fontaine's up there too. I know Diego's really fast too. So just got to work on it. You just got to keep chipping at it. You're not going to get any better in life if you don't keep working on it. So that's my mentality going into these last races.
Well, great job tonight, and send some shout outs to everybody like you, buddy.
I gotta thank my wife and kids. I always thank them. Especially gotta thank my wife for letting me take time out of our busy lives to do this. Gotta thank Laser Racing. Like I said, we're a family. We're one. I always said we're a force to be reckoned with, and I think tonight shows that going into the playoffs. Gotta thank my teammates Stephen Miles, Brandon Alphin, Devin Ramsey, Chris Dean. Gotta thank my wife's grandmother, my dad. Hopefully he's watching, but he's probably asleep, and said he'll tell me that he fell asleep watching it, which I call baloney. But gotta thank Good Man Above, and thank you for putting on these amazing broadcasts. They're always fun to go back and watch, and I'm gonna enjoy these last 4 or 5 races that we have with you in this league, and hopefully see you back here soon.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, great job. All the best, obviously, to the family and to you, and we'll see you next week in Chi-Town.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Alex Bryson finishing in the 2nd position here tonight. Congratulations to him, obviously, on that, and completing a 1-2 finish for he and the teammate Stephen Miles, who picks up his 3rd win of the season. And I got to go look at my notes here. I'm trying to find the numbers and stuff, but you might just happen to be the first 2-time winner of this race.
What do you mean, Michigan?
Yeah, like at this track.
I won back to back when they first started with Xfinity. Well, no, really 3, because after the trucks and then Xfinity, I won back to back, and then the next one I got a bad caution, couldn't make it back to the front, and then the next one I got killed at lap 10, and then this one, I mean, this track it's special to me. I got my first iRacing win here in TI, so it's just very special to me to get one here.
But there you go. He's got multiple wins at this track. That's basically the theme of this whole thing. But man, what a race it was. You obviously worked your way up to the front real quickly and just maintained. You and AB and Brandon had a great strategy as you guys were pretty much walking away, the 3 of you guys, with it before the caution there towards the latter part of that race. But still the fight, and you 3 to stay up there in the top 6 have to keep you proud there.
Yeah, man. I know how fast this team is. I don't know how I got the pole. I really felt slow on that lap, but I got first, and you know how I am. I just want to see how the race is gonna pan out, so I ain't want to lead too many laps at the early end, and just try to see how things went and just how the runs was. My car was so much better on the bottom. I don't know what it was. I couldn't really run that line in practice, but for some reason, I don't know if the track changed or what, but I was just on the bottom, and AB and Alpha was drafting with each other, and we was out. They were trying to catch me, so it was like cat and mouse, and they was catching me for a little bit, but I told them, like, I'm not even going full speed yet, and then I pulled away, and they were just laughing at me, and it was fun for the whole time, because I mean, these laps felt like eternity, and it felt like this race was never going to end, so we just had to have some jokes and laugh the whole single time to try to make this race go by faster. And Devin needed a caution. He was like, man, I want to see a caution. And next lap, the caution came out, and I got on to him. And it's just how my luck's been. I lead in the race and get a caution, and I get wrecked or whatever it may be. But I'm just glad I was able to switch my wheelbase in my wheel and get my first win on my new wheel. It took a couple of weeks to get a good reading on it. It drives completely different than the regular wheel. So, yeah, it's good on that. And, man, I don't know what Alpin finished, but I think he had a good run, too. So, it was a good team performance. What we're trying to do is win a team championship most of all. So, yeah.
Well, obviously a great run tonight. First, second, and sixth is where you mentioned Brandon finished in the end. So, great job tonight as you once again get up there and tie yourself with Fontaine, I think. If we'll go look at the numbers real quickly. I know you two go back and forth pretty much each week, tying each other up in career wins in the Premier Series. Obviously, the truck numbers I don't have really in front of me. So, yep, you're tied at 12. So, congratulations on that. And another Michigan win. And going into this playoffs where you get a Chicagoland. And obviously get the momentum kicked off there. And you can send some shouts wherever you like to.
Shout out my mom and dad, man. I know I haven't really gave them nothing to cheer for the last couple of weeks, but this one's for them and for my girlfriend and for all my fans to be watching and tuning in and supporting me, giving me feedback or whatever. I appreciate them. Appreciate you, Scholar, for bringing me into this league. You really was the one that got me AB and us started in here, so it's only fitting for us to lead with you, you know. So it'll be good for that, for a good last drive. Thank God, thank the league admins and everything they try to do, and that's it, man. Thank Dale's Pools, man. Think about them and Laser Racing, and hopefully we'll keep the momentum going and bring a championship home with one of us three.
I know it sounds weird, and Brandon will agree with this, but when you get into October and into the winter season, that's the time you start thinking about putting a pool in for the summer. I'm just putting it out there. So Dale's Pool.
Oh yeah, well yeah, he's kind of slowing down, so he got new triple monitors in the rig and everything.
Boy.
So he's starting to invest in it like I was last season. So I mean, that's only gonna mean better racing for us and getting us faster and making us better as a team.
More Morgan Wallen for you. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, you too. Be safe. Stephen Wild's the winner here tonight as he gets his third win of the season, becomes the second three-time winner on the season along with Diego Sainz. So we check over here in Discord to see if there could be potentially an update in the points. Hey, look at there. I think we have an update in the points. There's the race results. We go down here and give me a second here to do a little snippeting and some pasting here real quick. One of the best programs I never knew we had on a computer until recently. Well, until about a couple years ago. The old snip and whatever that app is, where you can use the scissors pretty much and cut the... When you see these numbers, you're going to be pretty intrigued. I'm going to show you the top 20 in points, but obviously the top 12 is where you're going to want to focus here in just a second. All right, here we are. Point standings after the Michigan Prehistoric Forest 200 as mentioned. Linosaur and Peachin flip spots. And Peachin ends up getting that 12th spot in. So no wild card drivers with wins. So it comes down to 11th and 12th in points. So the top 12 overall right there. We'll move on next week to Chicagoland and race for the championship. In a 5-race battle, 4 races before they swap to 4 drivers. That'll race for the championship at the Auto Club Speedway coming up in December. But Diego, the overall regular season champion. Fontaine, Bryson, Miles, and Telder, your top 5 there in the point standings. So, should be a fun one next week in Chicago. So, hopefully, you can join us for that. Big shout out to all the viewers for hanging out here this evening. Sean Peach and everybody at GLSR for allowing me to be a part of the series here. Of course, Travis Icavacci, if you're listening, hope you're doing well, sir. Of course, the original founder of the series, he and Sammy Barnes, and so many others. Big shout out to, again, the viewers, the drivers, and everybody tonight. So, a lot of fun. Take care of each other this evening and throughout. So, we'll be back tomorrow night with some more league racing from Charlotte. Otherwise, remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain eSports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.